Open prayer book, page number 1.
All mother sentient beings, limitless of space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. For that purpose, until I attain Buddhahood, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Until death, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. From today until this time tomorrow, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. I take refuge in the Buddhas until attaining the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas, just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path. So shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. I take refuge in the Buddhas until attaining the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas, just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path. So shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Cakrasamvara text, page number 2.
From within a state of emptiness, the entire universe arises as the form of the great compassionate Lord, free of any reference point, white like a kunda flower, with one face and 4 arms. The 2 main hands are joined at the heart, and the outer 2 hold a lotus and mala. He is adorned with the precious ornaments and sits in the Vajra posture.
Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Mane Beme Oi Do Garne Gan Troyer Me Yon Gon Sar Me Me Do Zangmo Ye Rai Yun Jia Do Gar Den Zoi Xia Ban Zen Xia Yun Der Da Yun Jia Nye Den La Be Zoi De Xia Zer Nun Gu Rai Jiu.
At his heart, which is my dwelling place, is the wrathful king, the protector Achala, blue like a flax flower, holding a sword in his right hand and a lasso in his left, held in threatening mudra at his heart, standing on his right foot and placing his left knee on a sun-disk seat. His splendorous form outshines the four Maras.
Om Beza Zindra Maharoshana Hom Pe Om Beza Zindra Maharoshana Hom Pe Om Beza Zindra Om Beza Zindra Maharoshana Hom Pe Oi De Ye Do Gar Chen Jo Pe Nye Den Ra Le Ba Mo Xiao Nye Gun Do Mar Cha Nye Zhe Gu Tu Fa Ga Zhan Zen Ya Gun Yun Jia Ra Pe Da Sui Jiu.
At Achala's heart, upon a dharma source, lotus and sun, I appear as Vajra Varahi, red with two faces and two arms, holding a curved knife, a skull cup, and a katvanga. With the right leg bent and left one outstretched, I abide in a posture of royal enjoyment.
Om 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 Sarvabhadandra Ganaya Bezar Varnanaya Bezam Berozanaya Hong 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 Pe 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 Sova Om 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 Sarvabhadandra Ganaya Bezar Varnanaya Bezam Berozanaya Hong 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 Pe 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 Sova Om 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 Sarvabhadandra Ganaya Bezam Berozanaya Hong 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 Pe 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 Sova Om 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 Sarvabhadandra Savam Buddha Genayam Bezar Varnanayam Bazan Berozanaye Hong Bebe Bezovai Majanan Ganyan Bezenjanan Le De Dong E Joy Jen San Jie Jie Go Ban Do Jie Wan Jie Nan Jie Go.
I will practice the yoga of the four empowerments so that all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, may have happiness, be freed from suffering, and gain the state of Buddhahood.
Dorjee Zhenze Ba Mo Yun Dan Jie Zhe Dun Zhen Jie Ya Yun Re Bai Dan Ren Jian Dar Jian 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 Kun Shu Dun Zhen Jie Xie De Lai Kar Kun Jian Wo Da Wo Se Se Jie Dan Bai Shu Jian Cai Wai Dan Jui Jian Xia Wai Dan Jie Se Ye Ran Gui Xie So Wai Ye Ge Wai Jian Se Da Ge Jie Sa Ba Tam Jie Zo Be Jian Jui Jian Bo Ngo.
Back to page 7. I appear as the Yidam deity. Before me, at brow level, on a seat of lotus, sun, moon, and silk, brocade silk, is my root guru Vajradhara in the form of Bhagavan Sri Heruka. Holding Vajra and bell, he is with his consort Varahi, who holds a curved knife and skull cup. The father and consort are adorned with bone ornaments, ribbons, and jewels. With one leg outstretched and the other leg bent, they stand on a seat of Kalarati and Bhairava. Moving in the 9 moods of dance, they abide in a brilliance of rays and light. Whatever slight virtue I have gathered through prostrating, offering, confessing, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, I dedicate it all for great, complete enlightenment.
Lama Dorjee Jian Be Da La Wang Go Wen Ze Do Sur Lama Dorjee Jian Be Da La Wang Go Wen Ze Do Sur.
Great Guru Vajradhara, please bestow empowerment upon me.
Lama Ya Ya Mian Zan Zui Be Ne Hui Zai Gar Bun Zhe De Mian Zan Dem Lu Jie Zhe Jian Ben Be Wan Jue Do Dan Ye San Jie Dan Jian De Be Ge Nan Don La Ye Jian Gu Nye De Xie Lama Ya Yun Yun Jui Jian Zai Ne Wo Se Ga Ma Lan Den Jian Jian Bar Den Ma Ge Zhe Jian San We Wan Jue Do Dan Ye San Jie Dan Jian De Be Song Ra Duen A Jie Ran Xie Nye De Xie Lama Ya Yun Dui Jie Bar Ve Wo Zangmo Bon Zhe De Nian Gar Den Ye Jie Zhe Jian Sun Be Wan Jue Do Dan Ye San Jie Gun Jie Tu Ran Xin Jian Goi Ne Bun Jian Wai Gun Zhe Du Lama Ya Yun Hui Dan Wu Zai Xu Jia Wu Ne Dan Gu Sun Jian Bai Dan Xie Bia Wan Du Sun Jie Dan Jie Jie Gu Sun Du Dan Nian Ye Ye Jie Su Wo Wei Nian Yan Lun Zhe Du Jie De Jie Zhe Ye Xie Jia Jia Jian Bai Ne.
And then back to page 10. From the coil of hair between the brows of the Guru Father with Mother, white light radiates, dissolving between my brows and cleansing the obscurations of my body. I receive the supreme base empowerment, and I come to embody every Buddha's form, the Deity mandala, appearing yet empty. From the point of union of the Guru Father and Mother, white light with a red glow radiates, dissolving into my throat and cleansing the obscurations of my speech. I receive the supreme secret empowerment, and I come to embody every Buddha's speech, the nature of mantra, heard yet empty. From the endless knot at my heart of the Guru Father and Mother, blue light radiates, dissolving into my heart and cleansing the obscurations of my mind. I receive the supreme third empowerment, and I realize the nature of all the Buddha's mind, freed from all bonds of arising, ceasing, and abiding. The Guru Father and Mother melt into light, dissolving into my crown and purifying the grasping of my three doors. I receive the fourth empowerment and realize the vast and equal essence spontaneously as every Buddha's body, speech, mind, and sameness wisdom. Thus I abide in Mahamudra, unfabricated primordial awareness. By this virtue may I and all other beings swiftly accomplish the glorious Guru, establishing all sentient beings without exception in that state. I supplicate to the Lord Vajradhara, Tiloba, Naroba, Marba, Milarepa, Gamboba, Pagmodruba, Jigdan Sungan, at the feet of the root Guru with the threefold kindness, and to all the root and lineage Gurus, the Yedams and Dharma protectors, please grant blessings upon my mind.
Dorjee Hong Le Dorjee Sun Bai Xue Wai Le Zhong Wei Ta De Wai Jian Bei Ran Xin Dorjee Zhe Zhe Wei A Le Dorjee Nye Ma Xue Wai Le Zhong Wei Xie Rai Dong Bai Nye Jian Ran Xin Zhe Wei Jie Dharma De Ga De Yan Zui Jie Wai Le La Ye Zi Nye Ma Da Yun De Dawa Za Wei Jie.
A Hung transforms into Vajrasattva, who melts and arises as the Vajra, whose nature is the method of great bliss, and A transforms into Vajratopa, whose dissolves and arises as a bell, whose nature is the wisdom of emptiness. The Sanskrit vowels on my right palm transform into a sun, and the consonants on my left palm into a moon.
Om Sarva Tata Ingata Siddhim Beza Samaya Deja Ejan Satan Darayam Hye Hong Ho Bezo Woi Beza Gande Dhammaranada Paranada Zambraranada Sarvabheda Jera Pazalene Panja Parameda Nada Zobhava Beza Zadoren Sindu Jane Ho 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 Chom den de lin je je be go
In an instant I appear in the form of the co-emergent transcendent conqueror.
Sarva Dharma Sarva Shedam Dombe Ale Lome Doje Dend Ale Gabala Yanshin Jaje Venand Berama Mejele Dezengada Nagoda Gale Shangana Hon Roi An Zen Gan Jian Zen Ba Jiang Do Bar Wei Ye Xie Jie De Zen Jiang Zuo Jian Bo Jiu Wo A Hui Woi Gen Zha Ro He Hon Hon Bei Wan Zuo Ba Sarva Dharma Sova Vajeda Dombe Ale Lome Doje Den Ale Gabala Yanshin Jaje Venand Berama Mejele Dezengadan Nagoda Gale Shangana Hon Roi An Zen Gan Jian Zen Ba Jiang Do Bai Wei Ye Xie Jie De Zen Jiang Zuo Jian Bo Jiu Wong Ai Wong.
From the state of emptiness appear wind, fire, and a hearth of skulls. On this from A arises a vast and wide Kapala. Inside it from B, Ra, Ma, Mu, and Shu arise the 5 nectars, and from Na, Go, Da, Ha, and Ku arise the 5 meats, marked with Hong, Brum, Am, Jim, and Kam. Through purifying, realizing, and flaring, the substances become a vast ocean of wisdom nectar. Om Ah.
Om Kaka Kaya Kaya Sarva Yaja Raja Sabeda Peda Pesha Za Umanda Upa Maran Raga Raga Nedaya Ema Malinga Harneda Samaya Rajenda Sarva Zede Membra Yazenda ya de bam ya de jam ben za da be wa da zen ra da ma de gar ma da mar ma zar wa gar da ya se su gan be she da ye sa ya chan ba ven da hong hong be so wa won ga ga ye ka ye sarva ya ja ra ja sa be da be ja za ma da ba ma ra da ga da ki ne da ya mam ga le Garchen da Zangmo ya Recitation da sarva se de member ya zen da ya de ban ya de zhan ben zat be wa da zen da ma de gar ma da Mama sarva gar da ya se se gan be she da ye sa ya jan ba ven ho ho be so va won ga ye sarva ya ja Raja sabda be sha za man da ba mar Draga drage ne da ya ma ba len Garchen da Sama ya Recitation da sarva se de membra ya zen da ya de ban ya de zhan ben za da be wa da zen ra da ma de gar ma da ma ma sarva gar da ya se che da ye sa ya jam ba ven ho ho be so won jo jo chen jo la da le no jia san bo jong bo da cha sa ye da yu xia da en jie xian gan zhuo ma me zo这间灯标多满的些呢南觉大家来将觉这标准则见个相人是学瓦当这里南觉这班子
Guardians of the directions, local guardians, gods and hosts of nagas, harm-bringers, bloodthirsty demons, elemental spirits, flesh-eaters, hungry ghosts, insanity inflictors, memory-crippling demons, dakinis and mamos, please accept this Torma offering. Help us yogins attain enlightenment, pacify adverse circumstances, harm and injury, and cause the four enlightened activities to be accomplished.
Sarva Torma Sova Shida Dombe Ngale Ale Dobe Noi Nanje Nande Moye Shivale Chonwe Jobe Jan Sanje Me Shaba Ngobo Saba Me Bede Zela Namba Range
From the state of emptiness arises awe, from which arise skull cups, each containing a hung. The syllables melt and turn into inconceivable offering clouds, undefiled nectar and essence, and a variety of distinct features and appearance.
Om Baza Buban Om Baza Duban Om Baza Logan Om Baza Gande Om Baza Nevede Om Baza Shabda. Namjira Sangha Gandro Mayan Golo Sanje Danye Jin Pawo Dane Pamyo Zoe Gala Dade Jab Sunje Simje Gunje Dunje Zoe Dane Here Gajra Jin Simje Damje Here Gajra Kompanjo Lango Paraje Zonje Chuta Gendo Lai Dada Dane Jab Sunje Nanjo Sangha Gandro Mayan Golo Sunje Danye Je Pawo Dane Pamyo Zoe Gala Dada Jab Sunje Simje Gunje Dunje Zoe Dane Here Gajra Jen Senje Damje Herage Kompanjo Lango Varje.
In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, I unceasingly take refuge. In the Yogin, secret mantra, and Dakini, the embodiments of the three wheels, and in the male and female spiritual warriors, I unceasingly take refuge. For the sake of all sentient beings, I will become Heruka and establish all sentient beings in the supreme state of Heruka. Shri is non-dual primordial wisdom. He is emptiness of cause and so forth. Ru is free from coming together, and Ka is abiding, nowhere abiding. I am glorious Heruka, the cause and benefit of happiness for all sentient beings.
Tozo Hong Le Hong Yang Na Na Yang Bar Sir Jer Jer Ba Chor Jer Jer Ba Yong Sir Jer Le Me Shi Dor Je Ra Wa Dang Sa Ye Tra Wa Ger Dang La Je Me Ye Ger Gan Je San So Ge Je Yum Ne Tra Ve Sa Tin Ran Je Jen Bo Jo.
Back to page 28. I appear as great glorious Cakrasamvara. My 5 aggregates are the 5 Buddha families. My 5 elements are the 5 mothers, and my sense sources are the bodhisattvas. From the life force syllable hung at my heart emerge 4 Sumbani mantras, black, green, red, and yellow. They emanate into the 4 directions and transform into an indestructible Vajra fence, ground, web, tent, canopy, and a dome of wisdom flames, becoming a vast protection sphere. Solid, secure, and utterly terrifying, it is impregnable to obstructors, even to Brahma. The light radiating from the hung at the heart of myself, appearing as Heruka, invites the Guru and the gathering of Cakrasamvara deities into the space before me.
Namo Guru Be Namo Shri Cakrasamvara Mandala Be Om Shri Heruka Sapare Vare Argambade Zazoi Vai Om Shri Heruka Sapare Vare Padem Bade Zazoi Vai Om Shri Heruka Sapare Vare Pubam Bade Zazoi Vai Om Shri Heruka Sapare Vare Dubam Bade Zazoi Vai Om Shri Heruka Sapare Vare Alogam Bade Zazoi Vai Om Shri Heruka Sapare Vare Gandhi Bade Zazoi Vai Om Shri Heruka Sapare Vare Nivede Bade Zazoi Vai Om Shri Heruka Sapare Vare Shabda Bade Zazoi Om Bazangar Devo Om Be Om Bezar Nerde Om Be Om Bezar Bube Om Be Om Bezar Dube Om Be Om Bezar Deba Om Be Om Bazangande Om Be Om Drupon Beza Om Be Om Rasan Beza Om Be Om Saparjan Beza Om Be Om Dharma Dadam Beza Om Be Om Benza Amrita Benza Meng Samendra Savarana Samaye Wen Sarvata Gata Anurangan Bazar Sob Amago Joy Sola Da Janje Dekwa Meke Sosaya Rove Kela Jiyaro Sanje Janje Ye Son Sanje Chedan Sonjo Lai Janje Varda Da Janje Ranje Dunye Raja Janje Sene Je Barje Janje Joge Simne Jijene Simje Tamje Da Kendo Denye Janje Junjo Ye Wanje Barje Rola Ben Sra Sanje Do Barjo Gonjo Sanla Da Janje Dekpa Meke So Sra Rove Kela Jiyara Sanje Janje Ye Je So Sanje Chedan Sonjo Lai Janje Varda Ja Janje Ranje Dunye Raja Janje Sene Je Varje Janje Joge Simne Jijene Sanje Tamje Dagen Janje Jinjo Ye Varje Rola Bense Sanje Barjo.
Back to 33. I take refuge in the three jewels and confess each and every wrongdoing. I rejoice in the virtues of beings and will hold the Buddha's awakening in mind. I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly until attaining enlightenment. I give rise to bodhicitta in order to fully accomplish the purpose of others and myself. Having given rise to the supreme mind of bodhicitta, I welcome all sentient beings. I will practice the supreme bodhisattva conduct of acting with kindness. May I attain enlightenment for the benefit of all beings.
Sarva Dharma Soba Vajidava Rali Zore Repa Wanshi Nada Namba Karneshin Chuga Vosar Tonye Ngale Dorjee Sashi Ravakur Trava Laje Mira Songra Jen Parvisa Namka Tang Lome Jasare Rade Na Zo Be Ma Jaran Ve Ramle Renje Na Zo Le Jarme Kanje Wen Parva Tseni Gunzo Shira Be Ma Dorje Mere Dorje Deve Na Zo Chiji Devaranye Manje Den Den Do Tadun Zezre Jengur Vese Yansar So Kamar Ve Rare Nada Geje Jobe Dorje Hunshen Ten Wen Bar Wunche Jaran Juan Jove Tunze Larde Sawa La Tenshen Danye Sawa Chamse Danje Yongse Jirbal Ranye Jomde Deven Jojir Nangka Dangben Dang Zhujian Sharje Jensen Chewa Zeishen Zhansam Dorjee Chen Zherbe Tugan Renjie Zen Chen Jen Jie Rarbe Torzo Jen Jenbe Zemur Norwen Dunde Nazo Dorjee Yonde Da Xue Zhe Chanye Dozhe Yumna Jujian Xiaoyong Gongben Ji Ji Jie Guo Danze Ye Ba Jiangbe Dunze Ne Me Bar Ne La Da Ying Zhui Xie Tu Lun A Jie Tu Xia Dan Jie Cha Jia Zhu Gun Jia Gar Gu Nyam Din Bang De Dur Jie Nan Jir Xi Rin Du Jarje Jinsa Zhazhen Zamsu Tu Pa Gang Po Nge Zhe Shen Cha Yun Tu Pa Du Zi Gang Wa Yap Jin Gur Nen Ju Jin Du Ye Bai Ding Zu Dur Jie Zhu Gu Qiu Nam Ge Lai Dei Be Zur Yun Xia Jian Xin Ye Ba Yan Zhi Den Nyam Jie Zhu Lan Ranzi jirmo chala ji jen tu ga nga ju do shar dang. Cha ja nga de ya yun ye gan cin bie zhe jen dar jiang jiang. Jar be me dar zi ji dang de tai jue nyum ju de ru be. Dun de yun jia ye ba nam sun kan zhu la ma dun ji ma. Zui ji ma na ngu jiang mar sir jar ji jin sun gu be jar. Jie zi zhao zhi tu gan wei jin gan bo nga ju do shar jin. Cha ye zhe gu nam gar jar jin yun be du zha du gan zi. Zhi mu ka zhang ga dan din yin din nyam ge shin jir mu zi. Cha jia nga de wu zhi din la ye jiang gar ji rao dun jin. Sam yur da din du zi ban din shang ye gang wei du bin zin. La nan zha war da ding ong gran jin par be ma am. Ning gar na zo dur je hong ya je ning gar ong ha gar. Go wa na ma he sir dan e je zo zo ha he mar bo. Chao ba nye zo bo je he na ming ye hong hong ho mar sir. Ye la gun la pe han jiang gu yum je de war om bar mar. 年个俺要靠多我人靠日什么个儿么当，我什么绕的事情就做的呢？也来跟来陪陪的给绕的真被接人上。
Back to page 36. My body gradually dissolves into the awareness Hung, which then remains in space in the form of the nada string. From the luminous and empty natural state of all phenomena arises an intensely blazing protection sphere of Vajra ground, fence, tent, web, canopy, and masses of fire. At its center arise space, wind, fire, water, earth, and Mount Meru, upon which arise a variegated lotus and a crossed Vajra. At the center of that arises a broom, from which arises a great immeasurable palace made of various precious substances, brilliant and complete in its characteristics. Outside are spheres of lotuses and vajras, masses of fire, and the charnel grounds. Inside the palace, in the center of a multicolored lotus, is a sun disk with Bhairava and Kalarati as a seat, upon which is a mandala of sun and moon, and the white vowels and red consonants. In an instant, the nada of my awareness enters it and transforms into a vajra with a brilliant blue hung at its center. Light emanating from it makes offerings to the Buddhas and benefits beings. The light gathers back and dissolves into the seed syllable. The moon, sun, seed syllable, and implement transform, and I arise as a transcendent conqueror Cakrasamvara, outshining the radiance of a clear sky. I have one face, 3 eyes, and bared fangs. My hair knot is adorned with jeweled dried skulls bound by a garland of vajras along my hairline. The top of my hair knot is adorned with a jewel, the front with a crossed vajra, and the left with a crescent moon, holding a vajra and bell in my hands. I am embracing the consort. With my left leg bent, I stand on Bhairava's head, and my outstretched right leg presses down between Kalarati's breasts. I bear the 6 charnel ground adornments, a loose tiger skin skirt, and a garland of 50 freshly severed heads around my neck, and I display the 9 moods of dance. On my lap is coral-colored Vajrayogini, with 1 face and 3 eyes. Half her hair flows down loosely, and the other half is bound up with 5 dried skulls. Embracing the neck of the father, her left hand offers a skull cup filled with nectar. The right hand, in threatening mudra, fiercely brandishes a curved knife with a vajra handle. Her left leg is outstretched, and her right leg is wrapped around the father. Blissful and endowed with the youth of a 16-year-old, her beauty is extraordinary. She is naked and delights in blood, wears a garland of 50 dried skulls, and is endowed with the 5 mudras. The father and mother are adorned with the major and minor marks and silken scarves. Like the fire at the end of time, their blissful union of method and wisdom is magnificent. In front is blue Dakini, to the left is green Lama, behind is red Kandaroha, and to the right is yellow Rupini. Each has one face, 3 eyes, menacing laughter, bared fangs, hair flying loose, a crown ornament of dried skulls, and a garland of 50 dried skulls around the neck. In their right hands they each brandish aloft in space a curved knife, and in their left they hold to their hearts skulls filled with blood. A katvanga is tucked into the crook of the left arm. Their bodies are naked and sensuous, and they are endowed with the 5 symbols. With right leg outstretched and left bent, they dance majestically upon corpses. In the 4 intermediate directions upon moon discs are vases filled with the 5 nectars, and topped by skull cups filled with the 5 meats. At the forehead of each deity on a moon disk is a white Om. At the throat on a lotus is a red Ah. At the heart, in the center of a crossed Vajra, is a blue Hung. At the father's heart are white Om Ha. At the forehead, yellow Namahi. At the crown, red Swaha Hu. At both shoulders, black Bausat He. At both eyes, crimson Hung Hung Ho. And at all limbs, green Pit Hung. At the navel of the mother is red Om Bam. At the heart is blue Hang Yom. At the mouth, white Rim Mom. At the head, yellow Ring Ring. At the crown, green Hung Hung. And at all limbs, gray Pit Pit. Pem, pem, the light radiating from the Hung at my heart invites the Viras and Yoginis of the 10 directions and the empowerment deities into the space before me.
Dharma Dardum Beza Zahong Bam Ho, the wisdom and commitment beings become indivisible. Yoga Shida Sarva Dharma Yoga Shida Sarva Dada Gada Abhishan Zadu Moy Shepil Sorda Wale Dezeye Kanwebam Chadu Tonene Jedara Damba Zanjene Deje Shegun Juzardar Da ye je ne da pa ye de xian da ge zhi jie.
Om Sarva Tathagata Abhikinsa Tu Mom. Having been supplicated, the empowerment deities hold aloft vases filled with nectar and proclaim, just as the Buddhas were bathed upon birth, we will bathe you with the pure water of the gods.
Om Sarva Tathagata Abhikinsa Samayo Shiraya Hong Ye Song Wang Gra Ge Gan Zhe Ma Da De Wai Xian Bo Ran Xin Jiu Jie Ne Wang La Ran De Jie Lai Jin Jie Liao Zo Lai Mei Jie Yan Lai Na Nan Tan Kan Zhuo Ma Ye Rin Jiong Wei Jie Zhe.
Saying this, they bestow the empowerment with the nectar, which fills my body and purifies all defilements, transforming me into the supreme nature of great bliss. The empowerment deities then dissolve into me. From the overflowing nectar arises a crown ornament of Akshobhya on the principal lord, Vairochana on the mother, and Ratna Sambhava on the four Dakinis.
Oen jere ero ga sa pare vare trojana bade za soeva. Oen jere ero ga sa pare vare baden bade za sova. Oen jere ero ga sa pare vare beban bade za sova. Oen jere ero ga sa pare vare de ban ba de za soi va wen jere ero ga sa ba re va a lo ga ba de za so va wen jere ero ga sa ba re va re gan de ba de za soi va wen jere ero ga sa ba re va re ne de ba de za so va wen jere Sabare vare shabda pade jaso. Wan she wan be za madan ge wan be za maran ze wan be za ha se wan be la se wan be za ger de wan be za ner de wan be za be wan be za de be wan be za de ba wan be za gan de wan be Drupon be za wan be ra za be za wan be za Parishim be za wan be Torma da be za wan be Jen za wa da je be bar de Lama da ba nam je shar de
I offer to the mouths of the kind root guru and all the glorious holy lineage gurus. Om Ahom.
Bero Zanaya Wang Moen Dragunaya Wang Lame Wang Moen Kindaroya Wang Rubenaya Wang Sarva Dharma Balaya Sarva Tathagat Anuranga Nambaza Sobhava Amagu Hamu Wanjun Bhavya Wambula Jansar Karpa Jimbon Daye Medava Rabbe Zoje Jube Jimba Den Jeze Rajen Jesaron Vejar Jane Loser Donra Barwa Boy Jata Janjar Donda Gan Taki Babbe Nazan Janwan Ze Deva Mijin Donzo Kulai De
Homage to the conqueror, the courageous Lord. I bow to you, who blaze like the fire at the end of a great kalpa, whose locks are bound up at the crown, whose face is terrifying, fiercely bearing fangs, whose hands, gleaming with 1,000 lights, raise a battle axe and lasso, and hold a spear and a katvanga. You who wear a tiger skin robe, and whose smoky color resembles great darkness.
Jun Den De Ma Dorjee Pa Mo Lan De Jang Za Lo Pa Man Je De So Yun Xin Je Me De Re Pe Wan Shu Je Jung Bo Tam Jin Jin Zi Gen De Be Ma Dorjee Je Mo Ni Dorjee De Ma Mi Pa Xin Je Me De Wan Zi Yo Wei Jin Doja Gembran Ze Man Ji Se Rong Wei Zhu Mo Ji Ji Mo Zha Ji Shu Xie Rab Dun Jin Para Ji Jin Pa Ru Le Yer Ma Nam Para Jia Ma Mung Para Zi Jin Ring Dang Mung Para Zi Pa Mo Dur Ji Pa Mo Nan Ji Ji Mo Du Bie Wan Shu Ma Lan Du Xie Jie Wan Dang Gu Be Le Jie Dang Lu Zhi Zhen Jue Zhen Pa Ni Xia Nam Ga Dan Ju Ga Ga Zha Lin Jie Da Ni Bo Nan Ju Ma Xie La Xia Zar Da Ba La Su Ti Jin Xi Ba Xie Ben Ba Xie Dan Du Zi Gang Wei Nu Cam Zi Jue Be Sui Jie Ne Ba Ye Tai Xi Yer Mi De La Xia Zai Lu.
Back to bottom of page 53. Homage to the transcendent conqueress Vajra Varahi, to the superior mother of the three worlds, invincible awareness consort, who destroys all fear of evil spirits with your great Vajra nature, to you with controlling eyes who remain like a Vajra seed unconquered by others, who neutralize even poison, wrathful, fierce lady bearing your fangs, terrifier, annihilator who severs completely, who conquers all adversaries, all victorious one conquering those who make us dull, rigid, and confused, to Vajra Varahi, great yogini, powerful lady who fulfills all desires, I bow. Homage to the four heart yoginis who represent the four activities of pacifying, enriching, overpowering, and suppressing, the four placements of mindfulness of body, feeling, mind, and phenomena, and the four levels of joy, joy, supreme joy, beyond joy, and co-emergent joy. Homage to inseparable method and wisdom, the four Tathagatas, such as the Unchanging One, abiding in the intermediate directions in the form of offerings, the four vases with skull cups filled with nectar.
Devara Maradini Le Ye Member Golosum Sosreni Be Yegena Zaya Hamle Karajaba
Inside my body, appearing as Haruka, are the 3 channels and 4 chakras. At my crown is a white hung, at my throat a white om, at my heart a blue hung, and at my navel a red ah. From the ah, wisdom fire blazes forth, burning away the syllables of the 3 chakras. From the hung, white drops descend, and restoring the 3 syllables, blissful warmth blazes forth. From the hung at my heart, a mantra garland emerges. It descends through the pathway of the Vajra, enters the lotus of the mother, and rises through her central channel. It emerges from her mouth, enters again into my mouth, and dissolves into the seed syllable at my heart. In this way it circles continuously.
Deity. Cakrasamvara Geji Zhongqi我今天从这那了，来了即将就把你杀死，我Geji就Zhongqi自己，我今天就大家他都是亲戚拉的过去哇，他都是亲戚拉边，在这里他长不起来，开始呢，他拿出去了，你瞧我这拉美呢，真的，到底。我们看着罗些红皮现在其他亲戚拉对呢，让给你看那的红叶怕了，看着蛮么从呢，看着蛮么从蛮不接从呢，我真的蛮不是那这的拿出了那的给的，他说他们去怕讲，他人不怕治，我真的前用我们那个，他前用那个嘛的什么，甚至什么当呢，真的，他出门他说你看了对。我真的得从一米看两把的下过的意思，我真的我从大开始呢，看着罗些那从这嘛的意思，我真的红皮的，我们多汤不我们的就是红皮的，这就常这么着有的意思，他太高了，给的发气是把这样的，我真的讲就这个意思。
Gek tang bar che tang ya gingun la.
我的我们的红皮的哇，面了我们的有的红皮有了哇，对，这趟就这样，那说从咱们这就是出游的意思，他在那看不来给的发气的说怕讲样的，从哪就是个意思。
So where Drupon Rinpoche left off on the explanation or going through the sadhana, the instructions on how to practice the sadhana, so we left off with the first rising of ourselves in the form of Cakrasamvara in what's referred to as the instantaneous arising, where you arise all at once in the enlightened form of the deity instead of it being like a gradual, step-by-step progression of the enlightened form of the deity. And Lord Jigten Sumgun has said with regard to this type of arising or generation stage arising, that of the instantaneous arising is the most profound. Because here this marks the beginning of all of these activities. So once we have arisen in the enlightened form of the deity, then we have the stability of divine pride. So within that divine pride, then we continue with the activities of blessing. For instance, first with the blessing of the nectar or the inner offering. So the inner offering is that which is in the Kapala, and what we visualize. So first when we say Om Kanda Rohe Hung Hung Pe, then we visualize that from the Hung syllable at our heart, limitless emanations of Kanda Rohe, the red Dakini, stream out, and they dispel all of the kind of defects and faults and kind of obstructing forces around the inner offering, and kind of banish them to far off places, and set kind of a sphere of invincibility so that they cannot return, so that there's no hindrance or harmful influence that can enter into the inner offering. And then once they have banished all of those obstacles and defects, then they dissolve once again into your heart center, and you abide within the union of bliss and emptiness. And so the meaning of the mantra, like Om at the beginning, Kanda Rohe is Kanda Roha, Hung Hung Pe, and so what this embodies is that activity of dispelling and banishing all defects and obstacles or harmful influences.
我真的在我们说爸爸学的，说爸爸嘛，说爸爸学的哈很多。我真的他提高了。他是我这里，他这趟去呢，他让西塔呗，让西塔吧，上不，让西塔吧，让西开始塔，有时就他们去让西塔吧的意思，让西塔吧，就他们让西塔吧了，让西塔吧，就他们去，让西塔吧啊，我是啊，去从他让我这里多啊，我这是听着，这其实他把他每能讲过去的， then does it tobaje, or at a meme on Parjane, don't be on then the Lungsim, known rank Lungsim, the Deva, in Jebik, on the Junzi, Yambanjago, is the Tongan Jagus. Or the Rusha on Dutene, Tamek and Hajan Dawa, Madapa Jama, or the Nega Chimbono is on the one.
So then following the Kandarohe mantra, then we have the Swabhava mantra, Om Swabhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Swabhava Shuddhoham. And so with that, we are, the meaning of that mantra is innate purity or natural purity. So what is it that is naturally pure? All phenomena are the nature of intrinsic purity. So what the mantra actually means is all phenomena are the nature of intrinsic purity, and I am also that nature. And so when we recite this mantra, then we are establishing that fundamental non-referentiality, and from within that, then the nectar likewise is also established as that intrinsically pure essence. And then we rest after this recitation for a moment with the mind and winds united in generating a bit of some bliss for a moment. And then in that, all kind of grasping to ordinary perception is blocked, and impurities are further purified. So the impurities of the nectar are purified with this recitation.
Oh, then don't be on this, that don't be on the Cakrasamvara, don't be.
Shodangari.
Shodan, Nishtambarinwa.
So we're on page 20.
Oh, then don't be on the Cakrasamvara. Don't be on it, and Tati Duzik, Dustari Shaksa Yoro, Gaval Shaksa Yoro. Oh, Terala, that Yige Yams, Jason's Yam was Yige Yam. Or they don't beg on long message, the long someone, the Yamte, or the Jason's, the Pavo, Shuland, Shusson Dutene, long Jinkor, Shugo shall show you, Shunda ones, or then Dawa check and Rawa, Gurgot Pa Jab Dander, Jekat round Danders.
Gongta, Yamcha.
Showing no Gurgo Rajabli, Gurgot part Dandachi, Jekat round Dandachi, or then Tiji Holy Yige Yam Sandily. The only put a dance and on to touch it, or say Zoms of you, but as you did, or to do those you, but some no settled it.
So then, as it says, from the state of emptiness appear wind, fire, and a hearth of skulls. So the Kapala is seated upon a stand. So that stand is like the hearth of skulls. So you think that that then beneath that there arises the syllable yam, which is the syllable of so the syllable yam, and then from this arises a mandala of wind, which is the shape of a bow or like a half moon, and it is marked with the syllable yam, and then the round part of the half moon is facing out or away from you, and the flat part, like the cut part, the flat part side is facing toward you, and then each of the corners of the half moon are like flags or kind of bellows that are on either side.
Oh, then Titan to ye Ram Marbutation, the Ramt me some raw. Or the Ram takes or wood shune, making what Choson Marbus. A Jiho Ram Sanders. Sword Jake Ram Danders.
Young Char.
Made Jinko Choson, Jil Ram Yubachi. And then Traject round then, Traject round then, Trozomiro, or Tichi, or Dandele.
So then there arises a red syllable ram, which is the essence or nature of fire. And then that melts into light and becomes a three-pointed red triangle, which is a mandala of fire. And the point is facing toward you, and the flat side is facing away.
근데 다 전주자 지금도 대대나 다 고송토 소르좀나 고송토 지금 엄아 홍좀 요바지 어제서 어 쉬네 민고 집som 다바서 봐 나한테네 다바 나한테네 좀다 근데 잡로여라 근데 나한테네 탑까지 나한 파데네 탑가라와다 가서 주와서 포섬 대지 근데 다바데 나한테네 지리 되네 어떻게 나한테서
So then there are the three syllables Oma Hung are in the 3 points of the triangle, and then they melt into light and become skull, like skull stones or skulls, 3 skulls, and human skulls, and the backs of the skulls, the backs of the heads are facing inward.
다 랑시 지와미 비 총지 아가보시 이게 아가보지 이 아가보테 파르큐네 제 토베 노 양신 자친보레스 와 자친보레지 다 대반 총야 대 나마르보인 바지 동반 총야 대 치가르보인 바 대통 인민 총야 tömö지파스 토바 drop 매죠 drop 가시 drop 망보도 개본다 망보도 대 매죠 tömö지파스 대 제와트 랑된데 제와랑 소 Dawa, or the round on the other.
And then on top of that, then there appears the syllable that represents the unborn meaning, the white syllable A. And then that melts into light and transforms into a very vast and spacious skull cup. So the skull cup is red on the inside, representing bliss, and it is white on the outside, representing the nature of emptiness. And it is completely smooth. There are no, so in some skulls there are cracks or they're like pieces, but this one has no cracks. It is completely smooth. And to represent, the single unified meaning, and the forehead, or kind of, I don't know what we call that, where the skull is, the front of the skull is facing towards us, and it's very vast.
Samo ye ting abo tsendeleji naga tawa gale sha nga swati naga taha go wa ye ngaboti sha ngaboti samoji wa tenru ze yobaji wa tenru zamdo dang do ta ji tang sha nga de tsinga de nga zo ze ta songji nam to zo yo du ze zang cho de mambo ze yo ba wa zang cho zang me zang che yo de de ze ngo ne nyam lian chi de ji na sha nga de tsinga rang yi ki de cho de tenru 차쇼사라 와서 저토비아는 뉴파스 요사리 와서 어떤 나랑 송지기 남토스도 봐 장한고 쇼로와 어떻지
So then inside of the skull cup, then you have the syllables Bi, Ra, Ma, Mu, and Shu, and then from these there arise the 5 nectars, and then from Na, Go, Da, Ha, and Ku there arise the 5 meats, and marked with their respective syllables. And so what these 5 meats and 5 nectars represent is the transcendence of concepts of subject-object, dualistic fixation, and concepts of pure and impure, or clean and dirty. And so when one is able to abide within the meditative absorption of non-duality, then actually the nectar, these substances are transformed into primordial wisdom nectar.
Hong Zhong An Zeng Kam Ji Xian Ba Xia Dang Duo. Wo da ji tang ji na, ta ji yi ge zhu mei jin duo. De number nang zi. Zhu mei ti number nang zi ji.
Got it, Gandhi.
Yi ge Hong Zhong An Zeng Duo. Dromt number Nazi, Aunt Rinchen Dorjee, Zaint Wapami, come to Toyo Chuba. Then the home to Michubachi, or that taking you by someone is.
Come Metruba. Dini Hungary?
Michu.
Oh, dini come gare?
Come Toyo Chuba.
How do you?
Or then what that taking you by someone is. What the non does. The someone about Yamlanchi need. So Yabu Newton, the Hinga. Short of ya. The Hinga, that's what the Hinga short of ya. Or Tondano series.
And so then we have the syllables hung. In the English it says brum. Actually, it's a drum in the Tibetan pronunciation. Am, jim, and kam. And so each of these represent each of the Buddhas of the 5 Buddha families. So brum or drum is Vairochana. Is Amitabha, or sorry, Ratna. And Jim is Amitabha, and Jim, and then Kam is Amoga Siddhi, and Hung is Akshobhya. So these are the seed syllables of the 5 Buddhas of the 5 Buddha families. And when one has a really strong power in one's practice, then one is able to actually transform these 5 meats and 5 nectars into the pure essence of the 5 wisdoms.
That's the Lamas on the Janto Parve, she to see Janso Chimbo Chor Selando. What that Tambo the Janwari, that Janwa the Karisana, that is a long Chinkoji Yorwa, long Chinkonila Fadeni Yoa, the rank in the Wuni part, long chune, Fadentella, Porne, Fadenta long, so Luyamdom, long Yone. What in Meti has shoot Chimbo Bar? What in a Tobinan, that's the to Yorwa, what is the to Shune? That's it. So much Marshuban, is a Shune, or the Madak Matas of Jan. Tabi, that Tamsek it was a Kando Marbo, Marcel, was introduced, since she was on some Kando Marcel was introduced. Or tend to say she was on some Tajan settings.
So then it says, through purifying, realizing, and flaring, the substances become a vast ocean of wisdom nectar. So first, purifying. So what happens with the purifying is that, so we have the wind mandala, right, which is in the half moon shape, and in the corners of the half moon are the bellows or flags. And so like flags, maybe we'll say. So then as we breathe in through the nostrils and the wind goes down through the 2 channels, then it causes these flags to wave or to move and generate wind, which then causes the fire to intensify or gives fuel to the fire. And it causes the substances, as the fire blazes, it causes the substances in the skull cup to boil and melt. So they melt like butter. And like melting butter, and through this, all impurities and defects of the nectar are purified, and so it becomes Samaya nectar, which is reddish yellow and very radiant or endowed with light rays. And so this is the process of purification.
Lampa Yura, that is a cool Lampa Yura, Lampa Lagura, or Lampa Teletrol from the Muchin Dorms, which can't all we go to Mount Tortenders. Or Tendese Chone, the wood passion, Kadamka until Garwaji, Hong Sander, Gila Hong Sander, or Tene, or that is some of the angles, or Kadamka the Karzana, Herga, Tondam. 공 투규 동담 창조 셈트레스 가람 강고 제모 토르텐데 어제네 어디제 마 창조 셈도 사시들요 어제네 다요 다메 아마티 저 쿠르와 람바티네 슈네 데 디나 마 슈송자 가람카데 되네 드스잖아 예르미반 제 송자 와 탐색이 드스제 요와다 와 드스 제 송도 되네 드스 칸도 가르보 릭자시와 로응아르바 때 창조 셈들랑 기타 초송자 로와 릭자시와 때 창조 셈 드스 창조 셈들랑 기 초송자
So then we have the realizing. So what is happening with the realizing is that from the skull cup, from the skull cup, because of the the wind which is causing the fire to blaze, and then the substances are melting, and then there's steam that rises off of the substances from the skull cup, and then it forms the shape of a inverted or upside down hung syllable, which is like the color of mercury, and it is upside down, and then that melts into light and becomes a katvanga with the hung at its tip, and this katvanga then is the essence of the heruka of ultimate meaning, and it drips as the fire blazes, the wind blows, and the fire blazes, and the steam, is generated, and you have this katvanga with the hung at the tip, and then it is dripping into the kapala with the nectar. And this is the essence then of bodhicitta. And so then it then dissolves or melts into light, and then becomes indivisible from the samaya nectar. And then the nectar transforms into like the color of white light, and it is becomes endowed with qualities like it's brilliant, it's smooth, it's sweet tasting. And so it becomes the nectar of bodhicitta.
Goal warm the jolt home P you jot that you get yo zamra alicalt to see gana Kaka Kanga.
The Ali
Alicali yet as yo zam goal warm the jolt home P you
go
the jolt home P. What I yet as a candle naso yo zamra. What it's all wood shune chorne garbo marbo home wombos chorne 这个是呢，这讲这有吧。당보 배차다 옴이나 고 토르된 요라 옴치 디강 아치 디강 홍치 망고 토르된.
Okay, so hung.
Yeah. 我曾经在有咱们的那个这里我这样说呢，他在南边看他们去洽的去，我在那提前一个上街他们去过松土去那，他们去做营主总部对。真的我这样说呢，他去江苏这所那让西都是有的噻。 让西都是这所的，所以讲，这我这样说呢，他dem jo ku song to kla yo ro ku song to kla so la an po wa de ne de so so ko wa de ne da yin zo bo ma wo shone ne om a la tian om a la tian hong ta tam sei do zang de song zang wa de ne tam sei do ta yi xie do qiu song zang wa de yi xie do ta kan do ga wa ri jia si wa 这是几块的啥话没吧？在江苏那一边忙不有吧？我钱不有吧？中这种开始漂亮，做着也没吧？我听着这个是怎么当过的？也是那边的话，现在的一些都是江苏钱不去了，是哪多？我在听着有啥的？
So then we have flaring. So with the flaring, what happens, and he says that actually it's a little bit hard to find, a lot of detailed instruction about this part, but in some places it is there. So you have on top of the Kapala with the nectar, the Sanskrit vowels and consonants. And they are multicolored. They're all of the vowels and all of the consonants. They are all sorts of different colors, rainbow color. And then and at the beginning of them, we refer to the Sanskrit vowels and consonants as the Ali Kali. So at the beginning of it is Om, and then at the end is Hung Pe. And light rays are streaming forth, and then the Ali Kali melts into light and becomes the syllables Om, Ah, Hung stacked one above the other. So a white Om syllable, above that a red Ah syllable, and above that a blue Hung syllable. And from these three syllables, light streams out and gathers the blessings of enlightened body, speech, and mind of the Heruka, and then all of the so it's like these so it gathers all of the blessings of the enlightened body, speech, and mind, and then dissolve back into the Om. The blessings dissolve back into the Om Ah Hung. Then Om dissolves into Ah dissolves into Hung, and then Hung dissolves into the Samaya nectar, and then the nectar fully becomes wisdom nectar. So it's like the Samaya and wisdom merge, and it becomes wisdom nectar with all of the qualities mentioned before, sweet tasting, white and radiant in color, and it becomes the nature of undefiled bliss. It becomes extraordinarily vast, like an infinite ocean, and however much is offered, it can never be exhausted. It can never be used up. It becomes inexhaustible. So then at the end of this whole process, then we recite the syllables Om Ah Hung. So at that time, with your left ring finger, you touch the nectar with your ring finger, and then you touch it to your tongue. You taste the nectar, and by tasting the nectar, then the undefiled bliss of primordial awareness or pristine awareness fills your entire being, or is arisen in your mind stream.
Torma ta yang cha ta jin dong ge wa wo den dong go ya ta ka shan Torma ta de chi na qin ji la go qin ji la tang de jiang tuo ba song chang ma ji kwa re ta wo ta na ji qie ne wo ta Torma qin ha ji da wong zhou Torma jiu go wa wo ta Torma bu ya de go fa ka re wo shi na ta su qian de su mi su ji ye jiu de su me jiu de zu fa ji zu fa zi tu ge re shi wo cuo na ba ni zu ge re shi wo zhou ni
So then following that, so you may have noticed that we recite this twice. So the reason why we recite it twice is that then we're doing the same thing, the same process. So it's really actually the third step, because we have, first we arise in the form of the enlightened form of the deity, and then we do the blessing of the nectar, and having done the blessing of the nectar, then we consecrate or we bless the Torma. And the same thing is recited, and it's the same process with these stages of purification, realization, and flaring. And so why is it that we offer the Torma? The Torma is offered to pacify all those kind of obstructing forces and potential obstacles, those that have form, those that don't have form. So it is to dispel any potential obstacles. It also becomes a gathering of the accumulations, and it also causes the increase of attainments or siddhis, both common and supreme.
다 돌마세티 이게 많이 제요라. 어때 돌 세든 센지 남토스 봐. 돌 스프레스 돌. 마세나 리콰이시 야 지토야 마한다. 다 돌마세티 이렇게 대두라 제자 회사로 봐.
이제 마 아마드라워를
리콰이시 야 제야 아마노사 야 지토야.
윤치모도.
마.
So then the word Torma.
지비마와 지비마다 제야 마에 살때.
제야기마 last one. So with the word Torma itself, so Tor means to dispel. So Tor is what is being dispelled is the subject-object dualistic fixation. And then the Ma, which is like a feminine particle or mother, and it is referring to the arising or birth of primordial wisdom.
근데 돌마 안티 돌메 오본다치나 돌세트 추인이시 추진이시 마세트 다 직관으로 리바이시야 제야.
Chabagare?
돌메 오보라와.
Oh, So then with regard to so that's kind of the literal meaning, and then with regard to the essence, so the essence of Tor is the pristine awareness of Dharmadhatu, and the Ma is the same. It's the arising of intrinsic awareness, the primordial wisdom of intrinsic awareness.
다돌마 예반다만다 요래 다돌마 가시니 야 준대 샤한조가 덴토르세 덴동치야 다만다 여러 왕가랑서 다돌마 코나 레이다만다 여러 가시 덴토르세 준대 샤한조가 같은 여러 가시 단 줘야 다다다 네가 단 줘야 안도 모두 내가 봐 당야 안도 돌마라 어떻지 어때 인도 다 지당가서 돌마 자산다 이나제 림보시래 인도 노용나 야래 림보시래 인도 노요바치 어때는 돌메케 주서서라제 Zangmo yabu buitabunda.
So then, in general, we have many different types of tormas that serve different functions. So, for instance, there's like the torma that is the support torma, and then there's offering tormas. These are tormas that are offered, and they're the preliminary tormas. And so when you have these tormas, it's good to have them in a like really nice vessel or plate. So like something that is maybe like a substance of some sort of like precious metal, precious qualities, or something that's valuable, and that the torma itself is made of really pure, clean substances.
돌마 부세 유전 직전 대비 자솜 자바솜 요라 담지한 소소소다 직전비 한제라 소다 요라 직전들아 한제 동화 가서 다이 소다 르소 동그라다 소동 와다 소 푸게스 프리아다.
And so the beings that we're offering this initial torma to are all of the land protectors and local spirits, the gods and demons abiding in the environment, nagas and so forth. So actually we recite, when then with the lines that follow, then we're actually we're stating who it is, to whom it is that we're offering the torma.
근데 돌마 지당 소야를 8월 침바 초 창도레스. 대외응보 8월 침바 초. 8시 초 창요레스. 대외응보 시 창요레스. 근데 다다디 domba 좀 창요레스. 도르제에서 다바 진바는 당거와. 도르제에서 아야다 진비 8월 침바. 我在长大的身边走那前面的，把长嘛也不说个哇，我在出钱跑到金吧，我真的这他在身边那前面吧，去那个的，就是个人的家说个哇，我在说吧，说别跑到金吧，他多嘛就也不当呢，来了趟车的，现专注去跑到金吧，这多嘛的话，当面就是想现出没话，今天3天就跑到金吧。这多嘛在코르솜 용스타와 코르솜 용스타바 지나 내 시라 바로 침바 어제 파르친 초트 상요레스.
So in this process of offering a torma, actually all of the 6 perfections or the 6 paramitas are complete. Likewise, there are the 4 means of gathering or attracting beings, and likewise the 3 levels of vows. All of these are present in the simple act of offering the torma. So, for instance, the perfection of generosity is that we're, offering this torma as a gift with a mind of generosity to the beings that we are offering it to, and we're taking care to, really make sure that it is of the purest substances, that everything is clean, and so that is the practice of pure conduct or discipline. And then we are enduring, kind of whatever the difficulty of this and having patience with kind of the and in the process of dispelling or pacifying the harmful intents of sentient beings. So this is the practice of patience, the perception of patience. And then we're really making an effort to, take care to do this in a correct way and to actually go through the various steps. We're doing this ritual instead of just being lazy about it. And so that is diligence. And then as we engage in the offering of the torma, we're really staying focused on the activity at hand with single-pointed concentration, and so that is meditative concentration. And then when the offering is made from within the state that is free of referentiality regarding the 3 spheres, or the one that is offering, the thing which is being offered, and the object to whom we are offering it, then that is the perfection of wisdom.
我在对外我不是唱我的赛区是吧？对外我不唱不是金巴的哇，等中所说的怕都嘛我给的哇，我在金边跑到金巴去，等中所说他我就那去，他在其他说在一个他多半的铺给的哇这意思，中所说多半的铺给的哇，等中所等面中所有的哇，他多半铺呀，他年巴的嘛吧。我真的，他我说话去做了完，怕拉不给的哇。前两种我做罗巴奇强就不要了，罗巴奇下头就老个了吧？我这同酒吧，同大就是的，那就这边我不是同酒吃了吧？我这那可是他吧，我把这同推吧的，是可是他吧，同堂推吧，同酒吧，同推吧是，我这同堂推吧去，可是用是他吧
？Yeah, so korsum yung su takba garede.
同大堂推的嘞。
Dun tumba.
同推吧。这里他多把种长，我他妈哪看这啥的？多嘛当对天呢，身边脑子没几哇，每个帮我说啥去懂吧？我这多嘛先动呀，这强先去懂吧？这多嘛他
喂，gare jangsem gare。
先去懂当呀的，我这强先去懂吧？那有的是，这个他我们都在，他送俺的去怕当给了哇，这是俺懂吧的，他我们呢？现在送俺这种东，这都蛮当个的哇，这上俺都蛮，常有的也是。
So then the way that the 4 means of attracting beings is complete is, so the first is through the practice of generosity. So this is self is an act of generosity. We're giving the torma as a gift to the guests, or the recipients of the torma. And then we are, reciting these praises with kind words, inviting them to partake of the torma. And this is this is the second, speaking in a way that is pleasant and kind. And then we are asking them deni rokpa che ro nang kongso la nga cho la rokpa che
nga zo tonda zo ro farchi ma thang se tsu lab gro wa nga zo da chang cho ro ya farchi ma thang ro pa chi khan ji dong ro chi lab gro wa the lab
So then we're saying, we're beseeching their, we're asking them for assistance and help. We're saying, please help us to accomplish our intended purpose, to actually, engage in this activity or this practice, which is truly meaningful. And so,
Sumba den kursom yong sta ba res. 지난 드린도 되는 거 보시시요 왜?
Rede de sumba de dingamendo sumba gare.
kursom yong sta ba 진 동당 투바.
Dondang tumba. So then, so our activity then is like in accord with our what is meaningful, or our activity is meaningful. Kimbo de Norwa yanang la bro no. Dene de korsum yongsu dagba sumba de ni jibare. So then the fourth is the purity. So then the fourth is so the third being that we're seeking their assistance in accomplishing what is meaningful. So our activities are in accord with the meaning. And then when this is done with wisdom, then it is performed. The activities are performed in a way that is free from referentiality regarding the three spheres. And so, yang doing obo jipa de garere. La. Dere yene yang chitang de latang.
Tambo de da rong so so pa do ma ngo ya de jimba chi.
Jimba,
ni pa de rong so so ngak ju na chi ya de nyen bar ma ba chi.
So speaking kindly or pleasantly.
Zumba de do be tong so wan de ya shu ya ji wa. Ma zo lo kwa chi ro chi so chi ma tang se. Wa de zumba chi.
So then third is asking for assistance in accomplishing the meaning, and then fourth is the freedom from referentiality regarding the three spheres, and then the way in which the three vows are complete is that we are practicing the vows of individual liberation or pratimoksha by not harboring ill will, or by pacifying thoughts of ill will and abandoning non-virtue. And then we are practicing the vows of bodhicitta because we are working to accomplish the benefit of others. And then we are practicing the vows of secret mantra because we are meditating on ourselves as a deity, and we are blessing the substances with mantra and meditative absorption. So then we can leave the instructions here for today. Gong
bezon bero zanaya hong be on sarvam budan rakne bezo varna ne hong be Savam Buddha Roganaya Bezavarnanaya Hoin Be So Sui Toge Hongge Toi Ngaji Kurve Vunan Le La Jin Rove Dun Jane Lar Yang Hong La Tenpa Ju.
The mantra revolving around the Hung at the heart of each Dakini radiates light. From these rays of light, deities emerge who then act for the benefit of beings. The light then gathers back and dissolves into the Hung.
Om Dragane Hong Pe Om Dragane Hong Om Dragane Hong. On Dragane Hong Be on Lame Hong Pe on Lame Hong.
The light radiating from the Hung at my heart gathers the protection sphere and charnel grounds into the immeasurable palace, which dissolves into the four Dakinis, who dissolve into the mother, who dissolves into the father, who then dissolves into the Hung at my heart, which dissolves from the hook at its foot upward into its body, the body into the head into the crescent moon, and finally that gathers into the nada string. The nada too dissolves and becomes imperceptible, subtle within luminous clarity, even and vast. Once again, like a fish leaping from water, I arise as the great glorious Heruka, with one face and two arms, whose magnificent form appears clearly but is empty, like a mirage. From the state of emptiness appear wind, fire, and a hearth of skulls. On this from arises a vast and wide Kapala. Inside of that, from Bira, Ma, Mu, and Shu arise the five nectars, and from Na, Gu, Da, Ha, and Ku arise the five meats, marked with Hung, Brum, Jam, Jim, and Kam. Through purifying, realizing, and flaring, the substances become a vast ocean of wisdom nectar. The light radiating from the Hung at my heart invites the conqueror Cakrasamvara from the pure land of Akanishta, together with myriad Viras and Yoginis, to come here to the space before me. On the tongues of the assembly of the deities of the five wheels are white vajras the size of a barley grain. For the Torma is offered to the deities by moving it in a circle. to the left for those in the cardinal directions, and to the right for those in the intermediate directions. I bow to glorious Heruka, great hero, utterly pure Vajra Lord, and to Vajra Varahi, passionate one for those with great passion. Equally victorious over attachment to existence and peace, you have conquered all conceptual thoughts. You see the even space-like nature of all phenomena. Protector, may the nectar of your heart, infused with your compassion, drench me. Goddesses, please care for me with your great love.
71. Om Beza Eroga Samaya Manubalaya Eroga Dinoba Tijandro Membava Sudugaya Membava Honorado Membava Subhajaya Membava Sarva Siddha Membraya Sarva Karma Suzane Siddha Shaya Guru Bangave Beza Heroga Mame Herogo Bava Samaya Sado 80.
80. The wisdom beings dissolve into myself.
Marse Yela Damjela Pewan Jangu Nanjun Zembarjur.
I appear as the transcendent conqueror. At my heart are white Om Ha. At my head yellow Namahi. At my crown red Swaha Hu. At both shoulders black Bausat He. At both eyes crimson Hung Hung Ho. And at the limbs green Pit Nam.
Om Sumbane Sumbane Om Be Om Garna Garna Om Be Om Garna Bayang Garna Om Be Om Naya Om Bangamin Baza Om Be 84. Oi Gewan Dein Zuen Goin De Dein Jeje De San Sai Dai Yoi Be Gewan De Dai Dai Gan Yai Do Wai Mai Lue Ban Je Je Ja Bu Jon De Nyen Roi Yo.
By this virtue, and by the power of whatever virtue is amassed in the 3 times in samsara and nirvana, may I and all beings without exception, limitless as the sky, accomplish the victorious King of Delight.
86 in English.
In English. Exalted Supreme Deity, victorious Cakrasamvara, if I practice you with one pointed devotion, let your compassion neither wane nor be indifferent, but swiftly reveal your delightful sublime face. Through practicing the key points of settling in a state of controlling and binding the channels, winds, and drops of my impure illusory body, may it become free from obscurations, undefiled and clear, and may I attain supreme accomplishment in this very life. If, due to a lack of fortune and diligence, I am not freed in this life, then at the time of death may the assembly of Vira Zendakinis of the 5 wheels, such as skull pieces and the rest, receive me with parasols, victory banners, and symphony of music, and various offering clouds, and then lead me to the pure field of Kechara. There may I behold the face of the victorious Heruka. In that field may I practice diligently the supreme swift path of secret mantra, and thereby cleanse the 2 obscurations and all karmic traces. May I accomplish the unified state of the supreme Vajra body endowed with the 7 aspects. Although I may attain the Dharmakaya for my own sake in this way, out of immeasurable compassion for all mother beings, may my 2-form emanation show them the teachings of the Supreme Vehicle, and thus may I swiftly establish them in the state of the Vajra holder. By this virtue may I swiftly accomplish the divine assembly of Cakrasamvara deities, and establish all beings without exception in that state.